Hola, buenos días. Soy Nico. And today we're here to talk about something which is kind of funny. Nico is kind of funny, and I'll explain why in a second. But before we get started, if you like this kind of content, make sure to follow me on patreon.com/Nicosaesthetics for more exclusive live weekly videos and to be a part of the podcast, which is airing. An episode appeared just the other day, so you should go check that out. But yes, let's get started. So today's video is going to be over Jacoby, who I have no beef with. Nico, I have to preface this because people feel like whenever I discuss their shenanigans, I have personal beef with them. Jacoby and I actually followed each other on Instagram for years. I remember one time my debit card had gotten locked for fraudulent activity, and he actually DM'd me. He was like, "Oh, I'll send you some money. I'll send you some money." And I'm like, "Baby, it's not that I don't have money. It's just my card is locked. Like, I cannot access my money." You know what I mean? So I know that he's a good-hearted person. I'm not going to take that against him because aside from the small interactions we've had, the small conversations, I don't have anything against him. He felt a way about me originally making a video about the comments he made online about his ex-boyfriend, Matt, who he started an OnlyFans with, and he then privately DM'd me after making public comments attacking me, saying, "I understand that you didn't say anything negative, but people in the comments are saying negative things." And I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm an information hub. You know, people come here, they give their opinions, they give their dialogue, we have a small conversation, we chop it up. I can't control what people say, especially because when I have a video, when I discuss things, what I say is what I said. I don't want other people's opinions to influence what you think I said. What I said is what I said. So after he apologized, we kind of just continued to move on the opposite end of the spectrum until I covered that video that he did with Brandy Glaze, which was a scam. Nico, that boy is not giving y'all man-on-man content, especially because I didn't cover the situation with him and Malik Joseph scamming again. Just because a scam is a scam, at this point, you're getting into what you're getting into. I feel no need to continuously talk about each scam that they perform. Nico, that man was... Point is, scam after scam after scam. So he really felt away when I discussed how him and Grandy scammed in that quote-unquote collab because it was all smoke and mirrors, even though what I said was factual. So he felt a kind of way, and he started grouping up with other mad bitches link up situations, and they started to try to attack me, especially when that Colorist page came out. But the thing is, the Colorist page ended up whacking every one of them that thought they were safe because they joined in on dragging me. Max Connor, you know, his racial politics are horrid in the past. He's actively been making ways to improve it. Rain, when his white boyfriend dumped him, the Colorist page was the first one to whack him over the head, basically saying you thought you were safe. Jacoby, they're on him right now for the sole purpose that he had a tweet leak out of context, which basically said, "Oh, well, I need more interracial scenes. You know, I'm tired of not seeing diversity in the industry. You know, don't y'all get tired of smashing people that look like y'all brothers? LOL." And because it was out of context, they began to whack him. The Colorist page, the person that is alluded to being the owner of the Colorist page, they personally never, added me directly. They asked about my diversity in my scenes, which I addressed because they don't consider Afro-Latinos as black. They want more African Americans, but I don't necessarily film unless I'm on location. So I don't deny the blackness of Afro-Latinos, but I already discussed that in that video if y'all want to go watch that. But in this situation, they basically said, I can't believe Jacoby would say something like this, and this is so disheartening. And Jacoby had to come back out and say, well, I said that because I tried to reach out to a white performer, and they basically said they weren't attracted to black people. And in that moment, I was hurt because it had been so long since I faced direct rejection based on racism that blatantly. And honestly, I should have specified better, but I just want y'all to know I would never talk about our black people like that because 90% of my... Not 90%. 90% of my content is with our people. Nico, I say that I say that because I'd say 60% of his content nowadays are with black people. He does have a lot of non-black collabs. It's usually just white people, But that's why I say maybe 60 to 70% is majority black. So he's not one of those people that doesn't give you black content. He actually gives really good content, which I specified in the video as to why I was so disappointed with his scam with Grandy Glaze, because at the end of the day, Jacoby will have a set, Jacoby will have outfits, he'll have a camp little script. You know, it's a setup. It's basically a little scene. I appreciated that, and I even stated so in the video. So I don't know why like they were all mad bitches linked up, because I pointed out that they did a scam at one point. If you're scamming, you're scamming. You know, if you put out honest content, you put out honest content. So that's why when I addressed him, I was like, okay, well, in the past, he's made great videos with legitimate quality, lighting, etc. So I was just disappointed. But in this situation, I do believe him for the sole fact that Jacoby has a lot of black collabs. It's not like a Max Connor where he only started to collab with black people later in his career when he realized he was fading out and people were dragging him for tap dancing. It's not like Rain where he has 0 black collabs unless they are basically a group scene that's set up by somebody else. Jacoby comes with black variety. So that's why I'm going to give it to him on this situation. I understand it looks bad, but a lot of these things that pop up on that Colorist page are taken out of context. None of my tweets pop up there for a reason, because I don't say Colorist shit. But I have noticed that it has started to die in popularity because it went from trying to expose genuine things that were upsetting, disparaging things being said about black people, disparaging colorist things that were being said by our own people about us, to taking out of context screenshots from a thread and not adding any follow-up dialogue to it, basically saying, look what this person said in this isolated incident. And a lot of people are beginning to get tired of it because it went from people having a genuine disdain for darker people being called out to just whacking anybody that they chose to so that they can continue to get likes and reshares. So a lot of people were just tired of it by like day 7. Day 7, you know, and that's the thing. A lot of these tweets are also old, but I usually give lenience when a tweet is really old. For example, if somebody made a colorist tweet in like 2012, me personally, I don't hold it against them if they were 11 years old saying some reckless shit on Twitter. Obviously, I've never done some shit like that and I do not condone it, but I'm like, I can't really hold a child accountable as their adult form, especially if they have shown growth and change. It's just a lot of people on the internet, they don't leave room for growth. They don't leave room for change. Once they have this idea of you, whether it's backed up by information or not, they just gonna run with it. So that's why I personally did not tune into like that witch hunt that was going on. I honestly believe majority of those people need to be called out because some of those tweets are fairly recent. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to you. Some of them are really bad. But a few of them, I'm like, girl, this person was clearly like 8 years old tweeting on Twitter. Like, I have no purpose to whack them at their grown age at this point. You know what I mean? But yes, definitely drop your opinions down below. How do you feel about the aged comments, for example, that pop up 10, 12 years later that somebody made that was disparaging against, let's say, darker skinned people, let's say black people as a whole, because it does happen in a variety. How do you feel about the Jacoby situation where basically his out of context tweet complaining about a white performer saying he doesn't like black guys and he's trying to get the acceptance of this white collab being used as them changing the context to him saying he wants more black people to do interracial scenes rather than sleeping with their own? Because a lot of people don't understand there are a lot of racial politics that go into the adult cinematography scene. As soon as you do a white collab, as soon as you do an interracial collab, people will look at you different. I've actually had people in my Instagram boxes basically comment, I was so disappointed when I saw you did that scene with that white man. And I'm like, the white Argentinian I did a scene with after I did like 3 scenes with black people, you know what I mean? So some people just won't be happy if they see you outside of like, let's say, your own racial group in your content. But at the end of the day, you can't tell people who to sleep with. You can't tell people who to sleep with. You can't tell people who you can or cannot find attractive. My motto, as long as you're not saying disparaging things against black people, as long as you're not disrespecting black people, we don't need to know your preference for first and foremost. I don't mind if you're in an interracial relationship. I don't mind if you do interracial content. If you only sleep with non-black people, I feel like you don't even need to say it because it's pretty obvious with your content. Let's say Rain, for example, even with those old tweets that popped up, his continued activities just followed suit with what those tweets originally said.
Also, I'm adding this in while editing, and it has nothing to do with the topic at hand, but He was originally mad because I said that we had met before and he was insinuating that I was a liar. I met him at a naked pool party in Los Angeles and I shook his hand while in the pool. Maybe because I am black, he did not remember the interaction, but that's where we met. I believe you probably know the function event that I'm talking about, but yes, I've met you before. I don't know why I have no reason to lie about that. I just wanted to clarify that at the end of this video because he was like really mad that I said we met. Baby girl, I shook your hand. We met.
So I definitely want your opinions down below. How do you feel about this topic in general? Do you believe that more people should be open to interracial collabs, or do you believe that people should focus more on their own community? Because like I said, once you dip over into that other genre, people get upset and they don't want to hear anything you have to say. And I'm like, at the end of the day, as a grown man, we can have the dialogue of the overall disrespect of Black people and Black love and disrespect of darker skinned Black people, because these conversations are needed because we need to bring these things to light. But you randomly going, oh, this person is sleeping with so-and-so, this person is dating so-and-so. If they haven't said anything disparaging, you cannot tell somebody who they can be with. And I don't understand making yourself mad about it at the end of the day. When I come on here, I have discussions over the general information that we have available of the topic, but I'm rarely heated. Unless somebody is committing a crime, unless somebody is actively being disrespectful, I don't come on here upset just because these are strangers at the end of the day. We are just discussing the information they willingly made available on the internet, you know? But definitely drop your opinions down below, because this one is a touchy topic. This one is a very touchy topic. And it's interesting to see those people that were trying to whack me get whacked by that very same page and they're following. But yeah, definitely drop your opinions down below. Boop. And now for a brief yet sincere shout out to this week's Third Eye Tier subscribers, Salem number 5 and Christopher W. Thank you for your continued support. You are greatly appreciated. And next week's live stream conversation is just going to be a virtual hangout. I won't have my equipment because I'll be out of the country, so we're just going to hang out, spill some tea and key as we usually do. If that sounds interesting to you, definitely tune in.